So till now we have seen how to use a couple of editing tools like adjust or intersect. Now we are going to add a few more editing tools, and for that let's proceed so that we can even complete this flow plan step by step. Say for example, now if I want to select this vertical line, you know it very well that you have to go and select the arrow tool. So now instead of clicking on this tool, what will be the other method? Say for example, the arrow tool is not activated and maybe some other command is in active mode in your info box. So my at present line tool is active in my info box as a default setting. That is, I am in a draw mode. So what I'm going to do is you can just press W from your keyboard, which is a hotkey to move between or to shift between editing, drafting to editing or editing to drafting tool. So if I press W again, I'll join back to the previous draw tool. So and if I press W again, I will go back to my this editing tool, that is arrow tool. Okay, so you can just single click on this vertical line now because you know it very well that you should always read the lower left corner of your screen. This I am repeating again and again to make you familiar with this logic, that always you try to read the lower left corner of your screen, that is the prompting initially till you are a beginner. Once you become a regular user, no worries about that. You can remember what exactly your software is demanding and how to reply or work with your software. So single click and select this vertical line. Now it is all selected one. The line is already selected. You know very well, like if I want to copy this, I can use Control Shift D, that is drag a copy, and again I can use check mark from base point and to the second point. So this is nothing but same 230 distance I have repeated between the vertical lines. Okay, this is the new line which I have created. Now if I want to join these remaining sides also, that is the sharp corner, the way we have completed this corner for this room. Again, if I'm willing to do the same thing on this side, how can I do that? Now to add this additional, because if you want to use the intersect logic, so what we have to do is you have to add a couple of segments more which are, or with the help of which you are actually going to complete that editing part. So I'm going to hold the shift key down and I'm going to click on additional line segments which I want to add in the current selection set. So now you must have realized that I have altogether now there are three objects which I have selected. So all selected three. Okay, now you are just have to go and work with the intersect button. So single click on the intersect button and you will be surprised that all the corners which you are expecting to be get filleted or intersected as a sharp one. Remember, we are not using the fillet tool. That's a different one. I have not explained that yet. We were using the intersect because there is a difference between the fillet and intersect. Definitely, I'll explain the fillet later. Right now, you work with the intersect to get the exact sharp corner. No rounded corners I am expecting at present. Okay. And in the similar manner, if you want, you can even complete this remaining part. How? Single click and select this. See, there are different methods with the help of which you can do the editing. But if you, whatever strikes to your mind and what is comfortable for you at that situation, you should use that and get familiar with the techniques. And later, once you become a regular user, obviously you can achieve a better speed also. So now I'm going to use this pet palette logic. So single click on the node where on the side which you want to edit. So obviously the pet palette will arrive and moment there's a pet palette, make sure that stretch is activated and you just have to go and get the field pencil to the end of this line. So this is how I've completed my room. Right? So please try this much of thing and then proceed the next step, because once you have completed this, the next part is nothing but I'm going to show you how to create some door window punctures over here, so that probably we can try to, that means we are going to learn the editing method also. Okay. So let's proceed for that. See, for example, if I want to generate one window opening over here, maybe the window is of roughly 1.8 meters as a width, and I just want to place it to the center of this room. Okay, so what I'm going to do at present, again there are several methods. I'm right now trying to use the one which is suitable with your earlier knowledge, whatever we have studied. Along with that, we will try to improve ourselves. So I'm just going to select this line. I'm going to use Control Shift D, that is drag a copy, and then from this end point to the midpoint. Now you just touch to the horizontal line and you'll see that your blip is there for the half. Why? Because we have already activated snap guide, snap points, half and between intersection point. Instead of that, you can move to the between nodes also, because that will be a better deal. So I've just switched to that. Again, it's not a compulsion unless until your end product is correct. So if your end product is not getting correctly delivered, you should always check what is there inside the settings. Okay. So obviously the between nodes is a better deal. So I'm just going to highlight, first of all, touch with the Mercedes cursor to this horizontal line, and you will see that blip is there. So you use the check mark and click on this. Now what happened? I got the vertical segment exactly to the middle of this room. See, now the 4500 was my total distance. 1800 is the window opening which I'm expecting. So this line will be copied 900 millimeter on either side. Okay. So you can do that way also. If you want to actually use this line itself while copying, you want to deduct 1800 from 4550 and you want to do some other relevant calculation, even that is okay. It's just a matter of doing the practice. So I'm just going to use Control Shift D again, and remember, uh, okay, let's try to do in a other way around. I'll just use one escape to terminate and one more escape right now. Because earlier was my guide to be get removed, and I have actually stopped my command. I'm just going to show you how you can work with a multiple copy, that is copying the same segment for a number of time. Okay, because I want to copy that once on the 900 on the right side and left side also. Then you will say, why not to use the offset? Those who are using AutoCAD, fine. Offset tool over here works in some different manner. So don't try to unnecessarily get much try to think parallel to AutoCAD. Try to skip that. Okay. So just try to use Control D, that is drag a copy. Fine. Remember, I'm using drag a copy. And if you know it very well, last time we have used Control only once to convert from move to copy mode. You can see now there's a drag a copy as a wording was there instead of a drag reference point. So just a drag was there, that is move. If I not again, if I press Control key, that will get removed and I'm back to move mode. That means what will happen? This line will be moved from here to here as a 900 if I'm giving the distance. And then obviously that line I can copy by 1800 also, but just some other way I want to explain this. So what I'm going to do is, you know it very well that if I want to travel in a copy mode, that I'm going to hit the Control key, correct? And instead of that, if I hit Control and Alt together, you will see plus plus sign. That means you have entered inside the multiple copy mode. Okay. The same command you can even access from the pull down menu edit, and if you're inside this move group, you are right now it is deactivated, but natural because I'm already activated something. So drag a multiple copy is supposed to be the command which I was talking about. So anyway, you can definitely get that if the command is not active. You will see that availability of that command is there from pull down menu or right click of the mouse also. So anyway, now let's try to place this as my base point, and I'll just drag my mouse exactly running on this line. So my direction is captured. I'm putting 900 on one side right now, that is right side. And again, I'm going to, because I'm in a multiple copy, so he's asking me for where the next should be. And this will be infinite till you're not terminating the command. So again, I have dragged exactly on the required side. Make sure my mouse is gliding on the line, and the 180 was the angle which is secured at the bottom. In the tracker you should see that, and 900 was the distance which I was trying to give. So 900 and 900, these are the two things which I have copied. Now I'll give a escape, fine, because I want to stop my command, and you will see that these two segments are already added, correct? Now I'll just try to select, I have deselected the object by single clicking on the empty part of the drawing, and I'm just going to click on the vertical segment and I'm going to delete this. So this was a one possibility to repeat these objects and get it. Okay. You can draw also new one by how I'll on the other side I'll show you how to jump with the specific distance and capture a point to draft. So that I'll do on the other side later. So let's try to find out how to extend these segments, because they are short enough, no? Because I want to create a puncture over here. So my window is getting drawn over there. So what I can do is, there's one possibility that either I can select them and I can extend them, that is adjust, and then afterwards I have to trim the upper part. Or otherwise, I can have one more method. Let's see that. What will be that? I'll select this segment, click on the end node, and you will see that your end node, and it is now with the stretch mode. So I'm just going to work and this way, and you can see now, if you're getting confused, you can just zoom this with your mouse wheel and get the perpendicular sign, and you'll realize that I have actually switched, that is the length of the segment I have changed by moving that particular node. So that also is a valid thing. Or otherwise is nothing but I'll select this. I'll go inside the adjust, and I'll just click with the Mercedes cursor on the boundary edge. So this will get adjusted. But then what about this part? Again, there's a possibility that you can even click on this node and trim and move the node and stretch the segment. Any other possibility? Yes, I'm going to show you how to work with the trim tool. So you can see this is the trim tool which is available. So in trim tool, it's not essential that you have to select the object and you have to operate trim. It's nothing like that. So even everything is deselected. That means I'm using the escape key, and you can check out now my info box is empty. Arrow tool is activated, and still my trim tool is actually in an active mode. So should I go and click on this? Of course you can, or otherwise the best part is in Archicad, your control key is a hotkey and it is always engaged with the trim tool. If in case nothing is selected in the beginning, the first stage is what? Nothing is selected, arrow tool is there, and then that time your control key is actually working as a hotkey. Of course, it will work in some other, with the other condition also, but at present as a beginner, we are talking about this. So hold the control key and you will see the Caesar icon is appeared on your as your cursor. So what you have to do is you just have to keep your pointer on this part which you want to trim, and you have to just click your mouse. So you can now check out, this is how I have trimmed the segment, right? So please try this much of part so that I can tell you how to complete this window opening, and that too also with some logic of thick and thin lines for the presentation also. Okay, so in the next clip we'll talk about that. Till then, definitely complete this entire exercise. If possible, try to work on other side and try to add one more window so that you will have a good practice on this, and then follow the next clip.